it's interesting. We're going to talk about personal branding today, and like you've had to get into personal branding, so it's kind of a fun topic. You know, it's like this new choice that you made in your life, as well as, I mean, I made it like a year ago, so this is new to me, but it's still fun and new in different ways.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I would say, it's a step back from time blocking, because time blocking I've already kind of immersed myself into a little bit. I think my curiosity is very high in personal branding, and doing a little bit of research on this podcast maybe a little more informed on how I think I want to go about it. But I've been kind of thrust into the scene as becoming the co-host of the Rise Productive podcast. So
yeah, we watched a fair amount of videos before this, and then I feel like I've just tried to learn about what's important with personal branding in the past year, just to try to get, I don't know, you're always trying to improve or whatever.
Sure, and you're inner marketer,
Yeah, exactly.
Personal branding's the wave, so you got to be on top of it.
Because all that personal branding is I guess if we want to give it a definition, is imagine what brands have been trying to do for years in order to sell themselves to consumers. It's a person selling the best parts of themselves to the public.
Right, precisely. I think Thomas Frank put it really well when he said that it's your interest or something that you are particularly good at matched with an audience who needs that skill or shares that interest that you have.
Yeah, man, dude, he is a slept on good content creator. Check out his podcast if you haven't, guys. The Inforium with his co-host Martin Bamey. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, that's a great definition, I think. I think for me, when I went back into creating videos, this is interesting too, because we saw some other clips and did some more research on it. There's like, the most important thing about going into a personal brand is figuring out what content you're good at or what skill you're good at, and then finding the medium that you can post that on, right?
Right. So whether it be video, audio, or writing, you got to figure out which is kind of your knack, or which one you're just naturally the best at or going to enjoy the most. And then from there, you got to figure out what's going to be your, I don't know, social media or, outreach platform.
Yeah, because I remember, I'm kind of the serial YouTuber, because as a kid, I made actually videos. I don't know if I've ever shown you my high school stuff. I showed, we got to do the letter thing. Let's do initials. CA.
I think I know who you're talking
Blonde.
about. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I showed him my old high school stuff, and I watched it again. I did vlogs of our cross country team in high school. I did food challenges. I did this like sketches where I'd pretend to be like a twin brother of mine who was really into trees and would wear shades and wear an Oregon Project tank top and be like talking like this dude.
The granola version of yourself?
The granola, yeah. That's I know this term now, yeah. The granola version of myself. And I was just like, man, I've been doing this for a long time. That was kind of funny to be like, I posted this food challenge of me doing the cinnamon challenge in 2014. Mm-hmm. And like, I took a mini break in college, but I'm the serial YouTuber. Like, I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, that's crazy that I before you had gotten into the Rise Productive phase, I had no idea that you had the gaming channel or the other videographer ventures that you had. But it makes sense. It's kind of something you grew up with, and you clearly have some, genetic or natural disposition towards making videos and documenting your life.
Yeah, it's crazy because I even looking back on it more, I just had another epiphany. There was a lot of like Call of Duty content on the internet a while ago. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of these groups of people who would make quote unquote networks, but they were just kind of like group channels and I actually remember running one with like a couple other guys, where we used to like, message different people and try to get them onto our, I think it was called DFEZ. It was called Die Flesh Eating Zombies Productions or something. It's like gone off the internet now, but like I made that in 7th or 8th grade. It was gosh. 7th grade through like sophomore year of high school or freshman year of high school. Then I took a hiatus until junior year of high school when I started vlogging and then making video gaming videos again. And then in its entirety, I've come to the realization that I'm almost positive the old channel, my late high school channel had 400 videos on it. Mm-hmm. because I remember making 151 in a summer to prepare for school, which is kind of nuts. I can't believe I did that. I made 150 videos in a summer and ran and had work.
That's 150 videos in the summer. That's like,
how
many days are in the summer according to Phineas and Ferb? Like 120? 90?
According to Phineas. Yeah, let's say 120.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I pumped out a lot of walkthrough content, a lot of video game playthrough content, a lot of vlogs. So like, I'm sorry, I should rephrase. I prepped 150 videos for the school year and made them, but I also vlogged during the summer and posted 3 times a week.
Oh,
so like if we actually had to put the number on it, I think it's like 180 or almost 200 videos in a summer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which is, and then I think about it now, and I'm mainly going for quality over quantity now, to be fair. But it's interesting how, sorry for that long tangent, but basically, first you got to figure out what are you comfortable with, and it's been apparent to me since a young age. I like microphone, camera, I don't care. Like, what's up? I'm good.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I think that was a good tangent you actually went on, because it makes a good point that it is first important that you find how you're going to communicate yourself before you decide what you're going to communicate yourself about. Because I think with personal branding, it's really fluid. You don't have to put yourself into one box as like the Notion guy or the self-finance guy. Like, you can be fluid, as people are multi-dimensional. And it seems almost more important that you have that communication skill, whether it be making good videos or writing well or just being a good orator over the mic. So it's about making that skill first. And it's like interesting that you have, been a jack of all trades behind the video camera, but you're continually to cultivate that skill.
Yeah. And then, over time, I feel like I've done a great job of, fine tuning editing skills for a long time. Nobody's quicker on the cutting and dragging, or cutting and deleting, because when you make that many videos in one summer, you just learn how to do that. Really, it was like forced proficiency, right? We talk about the flow state or whatever. I was definitely in the, dang, it's sad that I'm blanking on this graph, but do you remember the graph that showcases where you're at in flow state? I was on I was on moderate to high difficulty for a while with like high interest. So it was kind of, I was kind of putting myself in a pretty rough spot in the flow state. I wasn't quite getting there until the end of the summer, where I was like, then I was proficient, and I also had high interest at the same time. So
I feel like we need a picture of this graph on the wall for how much we reference it.
You know what?
Just how confused we get.
As minimalist guy, I really have never had many, like, you've noticed, I don't have posters in my room, until I added the stuff later in the year. But I actually kind of want to get I think I want to like get a graphic of that on there, and some sort of minimalist graphic as well. I feel like that would bring intentional stuff to my room.
Exactly. You actually would use this. It's not like it's just a decoration you look at, and there's utility to aesthetics too, but
yeah, but regardless, I think it's interesting that I've always known that I'm really comfortable with this thing. I love mics. I don't know what it's about. Like, I like it. And I think when I've been making videos for this long period of time, I've just known that I enjoy making the content, and the content has changed over time. And I think maybe I've reached a maturity point to where I actually know what like kind of stuff I want to make videos around. But when it comes to personal branding, the main thing that's probably going to help anyone who's listening to try to be like, how do I build a personal brand? Find out what you're good at. Like, if you've been a writer as a kid or an artist as a kid, whatever is that thing that brought you joy and people are like, hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And I feel like that's been the biggest reason I haven't jumped into personal branding for myself, is because, and I think I share this anxiety with a lot of people, is that I haven't found the passion or the skill that I really want to cultivate and then share with people. It's always been, for me, all right, first step is to find what I'm really good at, or what I can become really good at. And then however I share that with people will just come along the way. But it seems so instrumental to know how you're going to share your content. And in this process of learning to become a good writer, videographer, what have you, you come across, other people who are in that same lane, and you kind of, build off what they're doing and think like, oh, maybe this is what I want to do. Maybe this isn't exactly what I'm interested in. So it's something that I didn't have any intuition about, or maybe a improper intuition about how to start self-branding.
Well, it's interesting to me because didn't you write some articles for the school?
Yeah, I do write I write music reviews.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun and I enjoy it just because I'm a music freak like that. But yeah, that's not something that, I don't know, perhaps could be something that I would incorporate into my personal branding, since, like I said, you can really make it about whatever you want as long as it's you.
But word on the street is, and I don't remember if this story is told wrong or not, you have used the phrase to one of our friends in regards to you both wrote an essay, and you reviewed each other's essays, and you said, stylistically, I'm just a better writer than you.
Oh, I am.
Okay, so you did say that.
Yeah,
you said that though.
That's a fact. That is a true fact, and a follow-up true fact is that he did score better on that essay than me. So I will admit my faults.
If you want to see this episode or any other episode of the Rise Productive Podcast, make sure to go and check the show out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else that you can find podcasts today.